What's up YouTube? Welcome to another video on Tyrael24 Gaming. Today we are going to be talking about Mega Evolutions and my top 10 favorite Mega Evolutions. I love Mega Evolutions. I've loved them since they were introduced in the 6th generation, and anytime I do my playthroughs I always have to have at least one on there, if not all 6 of them have the potential to Mega Evolve, just because I love it that much. It's super awesome. It's really helpful. It gives each Pokemon a plus base 100 stats in different categories depending on what the Pokemon needs. And so yeah, without further ado, let's just dive into my top 10 favorite Mega Evolutions. Real fast before we get into this, I do have a quick disclaimer. I did not include any Mega Legendaries into this list. I just didn't feel like it was fair to include them in there when you have the likes of Rayquaza and Mewtwo. So those guys are not in this list, but besides that, we're just going to focus on my top 10 base Mega Evolutions. So number 10, we have Kangaskhan. It would be a complete shame to not include Kangaskhan into this list. For those of you who don't know, Mega Kangaskhan is one of the best Megas out there. When you look at Kangaskhan in its base form, it's not that great of a Pokemon. It's okay, but it's not good. It's average stats at best. It does have a good ability in Scrappy, which allows it to hit Ghost types with normal and fighting moves, which is its primary focus. So that is nice, but it's nothing you'd ever want to use. However, Mega Kangaskhan is what sets it apart. It has one of the best abilities out there with Parental Bond. For those of you who don't know, Parental Bond allows Mega Kangaskhan to attack twice. Its moves will hit twice, which is super awesome. The only catch is it tops out 25% of the maximum amount it could have done. So not only does Mega Kangaskhan get the plus 100 base stats, it as well gets Parental Bond and basically attacks twice each turn. Super awesome Pokemon. And yeah, you can run like a Seismic Toss with this thing, and it's going to do 200 damage to the Pokemon that hits, which is crazy. And then on top of that as well, back in 2016, the Masters Division, Mega Kangaskhan was in 9 of the top 24 teams. So it was out there a lot. It actually, I believe, made it in the top 8. Don't quote me on that, I could be wrong. It made it in the top 8, and it's personally not one of my favorites, but just because of how good it is, it's impossible to not include Mega Kangaskhan in any Mega list, because it is just that good. Number 9 is Mega Manectric. Mega Manectric was one of the very first Mega Evolutions I ever seen. When this came out, I had been out of Pokemon for a couple years, about 2 years, and I decided to get back into it, and so I wanted to get a Lucario card really bad. And so I went and bought a pack, and I actually ended up getting the Manectric EX in this little pack I bought, and I couldn't believe it. And when I first saw it, I thought it was like super weird. I was like, this doesn't look right, but then I realized it's a Mega Evolution. I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Not too long after this, I was able to play Alpha Sapphire, and I made sure to use it in my team because it's the very first one I saw, and it was a fantastic Pokemon. Manectric in its base form is okay. It's not that great of a Pokemon. It is decent speed and decent special attack, but Mega Manectric really fixes it with its base speed and base special attack going up. And it got a little bit more bulk, not too much, but a little bit more, which is nice. It's going to help it out. It's going to allow it to take a few more hits than it could before. Number 8 is Altaria. Altaria was never a Pokemon that I liked. When 3rd generation came out, I was always super confused why Altaria was a Dragon-type Pokemon. It just didn't make any sense to me how it went from a normal flying to a Dragon flying from an evolution when it doesn't even look like a dragon. So because of that, I never really tried it. As I played through Alpha Sapphire, I wanted to catch all the Pokemon that could Mega Evolve and use them and try them out. And so I gave Altaria a try. It ended up actually being a lot better than I thought, first off. But second off is Mega Altaria is where it really shined. It is a fantastic Pokemon, all-around great Pokemon. When it evolves, it becomes a Dragon Fairy, which really helps it become immune to its own weakness in Dragon types. Because of the Fairy typing, it cannot be hit by Dragon. Plus, it has a great ability in Pixelate, which is going to turn normal moves into Fairy types. Plus, it's going to boost those moves on top of that. So, all around is a great Pokemon. The only problem is it only has average speed. But you can run it as a tank, you can run it as a mixed attacker. It overall is a fantastic Pokemon. Number 7 is Absol. I've always liked Absol, and to be completely honest, when I was younger, I actually thought that Absol was a legendary Pokemon. It has something to do with the Hoenn region and that enemy. In the introduction, it shows an Absol, and I always thought, oh, that's a super cool legendary Pokemon. Little did I know what it was. But Absol is fantastic. It's got base 130 attack, which is fantastic, but that's the only thing it does good. It does well. It's basically a glass cannon. If you can get it to hit, it's great, but it's not always guaranteed to hit because of its terrible speed. Mega Absol, however, fixes that issue. It is a glass cannon like Absol is, but it is able to hit harder and it is able to hit faster with its base speed moving up. And as well, it actually does get a little bit more special attack, so it could potentially be around as a mix attacker. Wouldn't recommend it. And then on top of that, it also does gain the ability of Magic Bounce. I see this more of a defensive ability, but still good with Absol. It keeps it from getting toxic or burned or Stealth Rocks being put up. It actually bounces it back to the opponent, so that's really nice. But the biggest problem is it just suffers from the lack of defense. It truly is a glass cannon. Number 6 is Charizard X. Obviously, when Charizard X was introduced, those of us who've been around for a while basically loved it because Charizard finally became a Dragon-type Pokemon. I love the way it looks. It's got the blue flames. The blue and black combo is fantastic. I think it looks great. And I think this is just what Charizard has always meant to be. I thought Charizard was a Dragon-type Pokemon from early on. Not until I really started getting into the games and understanding the mechanics of it did I realize that Charizard is not a Dragon-type Pokemon, it's just a fire flying. What makes Mega Charizard X it makes it so cool is it has the ability of Tough Claws. It already has a great attack and defense, and as well it has a pretty decent special attack, but its Tough Claws is what makes its physical attacks go through the roof. Because of Tough Claws, it is able to hit harder with moves that make contact through physical damage. Well, actually, Charizard Y does the exact opposite. It's more of a special attacker. But I love Charizard X. The reason I put Charizard X on this list is because it is a Dragon type finally. One thing with it, you do have to keep an eye out for the Fairy types. It does get hit pretty hard by Fairy types because those do run pretty rampant nowadays. Number 5, we have Sceptile. So everyone always wanted Charizard to be a Dragon type, but not everyone wanted or even expected Sceptile to be one or even get one when it Mega evolved. I like Sceptile a lot. Blaziken was always my favorite until I saw Mega Sceptile, and that basically sealed the deal and it became my favorite Hoenn starter. It just looks so cool. And base Sceptile is super fast. It's a fast special sweeper, but that's about all it can do. But Mega Sceptile is going to take that and make it even better. It's going to have a base attack and speed of 145, so it's going to hit hard and it's going to hit fast and, special attack. And it actually has a respectable attack of 110, so it's not as terrible. And as well has a great ability in Lightning Rod, which absorbs all electric type moves to it, and then boosts its special attack. Already making it higher, already giving it a boost based off of that. It's a great Pokemon. It is going to help out a lot. Number 4 is Venusaur. Venusaur I've always felt has been the most overlooked out of all the original starters. And oddly enough, I've always had my best success when I use Venusaur whenever I play through Leaf Green. It always just helped me out in a tight pinch. It's a great tank. More so, it's going to take hits pretty well, and Venusaur's base form can put some decent damage out, but not too terribly much. Mega Venusaur is, however, going to fix that. It's going to give it even more bulk, and it's going to give it even better attack, so it can actually be truly ran as a tank, which is super awesome. On top of that, it's going to gain some resistances to fire and ice due to the ability of Thick Fat, which takes away 2 of its biggest weaknesses, which again is going to help it out a ton, which is super awesome. So Mega Venusaur is able to take hits, and with its newfound special attack, it can dish out as well, which is great. Number 3 is Gallade. Gallade, as I've mentioned before, is one of my favorite Pokemons. It hits hard with its special attack, with its physical attack, and it has surprisingly good special defense, which I would not expect. And like I said, I love it because it's a male version for routes, which I think is super cool. Kind of give it a male and female with Gardevoir and Gallade. However, its speed has always held it back. Has average speed. It's not fast. It's not slow. This is where Mega Gallade comes in and it fixes a lot of these issues. Mega Gallade is going to have a higher base speed of 110, so it's going to be pretty good. It's going to be pretty fast. And on top of that, it can take a few more hits. It also got a boost in its defense. Its special defense stayed the same. However, its physical attack went through the freaking roof. It is tied for the 9th highest base attack, out of all Pokemon. So that just makes it so it's going to hit hard, hit fast, which is great. Plus, he has a cape. How awesome is that? Number 2 is going to be Metagross. Metagross is a fantastic Pokemon. It's been in the top tiers for a long time because of how good it is and how useful it is. And ever since it's back introduced in Gen 3, it's just been fantastic. It's a great tank in its base form. It's going to take hits hard, and it hits back really hard. Metagross is even scarier than regular Metagross. It hits a lot harder, it takes hits a lot better, plus it's a lot faster. It is one Pokemon that really benefited from a Mega Evolution. On top of that, not only is its base speed going through the roof, it as well gains the ability of Tough Claws, which allow it to hit even harder on top of its already high attack. It is a fantastic Pokemon. There is a reason it's in the Uber tier right now. It's just so good, and plus its shiny looks super amazing, and it has a super awesome goatee. What more do you need? Alrighty, before we get into number 1, we're going to just look at 2 honorable mentions real fast that almost made the list, but just didn't quite make it. The first one is Gengar. I love Gengar, always have, and Mega Gengar has one of the best shinies I've ever seen. The second one is Beedrill. Mega Beedrill takes Beedrill, which sucks, and turns it into a very offensive Pokemon. It's going to hit hard, it's going to hit fast. It is a glass canyon because you just have to look at it and it is going to faint. Number 1. Number 1 should come as no surprise to anyone who's seen my past videos, but Mega Lucario is my number 1, and it is seriously my all-time favorite Pokemon. Whether it's Mega or non-Mega, it is seriously my favorite. It looks so cool. It really completes Lucario. It really looks like it's a next evolution, and that it fits well with the Lucario line. On top of that, it's going to fix Lucario's biggest weakness, which was its speed, by allowing it to hit faster, and it's going to hit a lot harder too. With base 145 attack and 140 special attack, you could potentially run this as a mixed attacker. I don't recommend it. I recommend running it as a physical attacker. It does gain access to Sword Stance, which is going to boost its attack by 2 stages, which is fantastic. It's going to make it so it hits faster, hits harder faster. You could run a Calm Mindset with it. It's going to increase its special attack and special defense. It doesn't have much in terms of defenses, but the special attack boost is nice. So you could do whatever you want. I would recommend the Sword Stance set, however. And according to Cerebi, it was actually banned at one point because of how good it was from some competitive formats. And that is just crazy to think about. Alright guys, let me know in the comments below who your favorite megas are, or if I missed one, mentioned it as well. But thanks for watching guys, I really do appreciate you watching. If you liked the video, please hit that like button. If you really like the content I produce, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks.